Also, if this were a project done on a larger scale with certain corporations or studios or whatnot, it would have been very hard to push forth the project because, again, it is in black and white, and also the aspect ratio is in standard size, which isn't viable as a commercial film. But since we were doing this as a half personal project anyway, we decided to go with what we liked. And when we went into production and we got a glimpse of what our crew, or how our crew was preparing the feces and the poop that we show in the film, that was the first time that I realized, it was actually a better decision to decide to show this in black and white.
And Mr. Harada, can you briefly tell us about what you went through with your team as the art director, production designer, what you went through to bring all of that stuff to life, as it were?
はい、これは原田さんにお伺いしますけれども、美術班として、ああいう、糞尿も含めていろんな、何と言いますか、汚物を含めたいろんなディテールを、映し出す上での、苦労であったり、そのいきさつであったり、制作の裏話といいますかについて教えてください。
うんちはうんちで言いますけれども、その2パターン作ってまして、最初は段ボールをこう削って、その削った段ボールに、サラダ油とか色とかバブって呼ばれます。その泡が出たり、発泡する感じを出すためにお風呂のバブに入れたりして、それでやってて、どういうそのこね具合にしようかとかっていうのを最初こう2人ぐらいでこうやってると、気が付くと結構スタッフこう笑いながら集まってきてて、結構みんな好きなんだなそれが1回目で、次は映画を見てもらって分かるように、その池松君がかぶったり、いろんなシーンが脚本で増えてたので、次は口に入ってもいいような道を作らなくちゃいけない、もしかしたらこう入る危険性もある、かけた時に。で2回目作ったのは欧風、麩をベースに色をつけたりいろいろして、食べられる方向を作るそういう感じで2パターンです。
So to talk about what it was like on production making all of this poop, there were two types of poop that we made. And one type was, so to talk about the first type of poop that we made it, the base was shaved cardboard. So we would shave the cardboard and we would try many things, including like pouring salad oil, vegetable oil into it, or bubbling bath salts, which we call babu, which is a product name, but bubbling bath salts to make it, to bring the sense that it's like fermenting almost. So that was the first kind of poop. And also, it was the process was trial and error, and while my crew and I were working on it, all of the other crew members would gather, kind of smiling and laughing, and I realized that, everybody really likes poop, don't they? So that was interesting. The second type of poop, and with various consistency and hardness and softness or whatever. So that was the first type of poop that we made. The second type was, of course, there are scenes where they have to throw feces at each other, or Ikematsu-san, he has to be covered in a pile of poop because someone spilled it over him. So we had to make something that was safe, even if he caught some of it in his mouth. So we made a type of poop that was based on ofu, which is, I think it's made from bean curd, is it? So we have something called ofu. And so the idea was we had to make edible poop so that it was safe for Ikematsu-san to act with. So two types that we made.
More questions from the floor? Yes.
素晴らしい映画どうもありがとうございました。ちょっと日本人の感覚だと歴史を勉強してきたらほとんどの人が分かると思うんですけど、この時代だと侍の娘が 汲み取りの青年を好きになるっていうことは現実的にちょっとありえないなって思ってしまうんですけど、でもあえてこの設定をしたこの身分を超えた恋愛っていう設定をしたなんかこう理由っていうものがなんかあるのかなと思ったんですけれども。
So thank you for the wonderful film, and if you studied history as Japanese, you would probably ponder this question, which is, it would be very improbable for a daughter of a samurai warlord to fall in love with a manure man. And so you're depicting here a love story that crosses different classes, and we're wondering why that decision was made.
僕も過去の映画とかを参考にしているところあるかもしれないですけど、やっぱりこう没落した武家っていうのは長屋に住んで傘張り職人をやったり、そうやってこう庶民のところも降りてきざるを得ない人たちもいて、で今回その長屋というところに住んで、以前はお侍さんの出かもしれないけど何者でもなくなってしまうというところで、そういうことがない限りは下越が行って糞尿を運ぶ若い男と知り合うことはないわけですけど、全く嘘じゃないというふうに僕は思ってて、そしてもう一つのこの映画のテーマは環境型の、経済、江戸時代のに加えてやっぱり階級を超えた関係性みたいなものもテーマの一つに含めたかったんですね。でSDGs とか、日本が一番そういう言葉を使ってるようですけど、その SDGs の第一義っていうのはあらゆる貧困、あらゆる形態、あらゆる場所の貧困、あらゆる形態のあらゆる場所のあらゆる形態の貧困をなくすというその第一義から続けてすると、やっぱり階級とかジェンダーとか平等とかそういうものも含まれたそのアジェンダなんで、そこをもうちょっと意識して階級を超えた、今回は恋愛関係性というものを、目指したところなんですね。
So if you've seen some of my previous films, you would know that, for example, if you were a disgraced samurai, who has been stripped of his title and name and so forth, you would be living a life as a peasant in such row houses, or you would be, for example, be a craftsperson, sealing, for example, pasting, making umbrellas or pasting paper to umbrellas and so forth. You would live that peasant life. And so I don't think it's so implausible that a daughter of a disgraced samurai, if he was still a samurai, the daughter would never have met somebody who peddles manure like that. But since this is a daughter of a disgraced samurai who lives the peasant life or the commoner's life, I think this is not totally improbable or implausible. And also, so there are two important themes that we're depicting in this film, and one is, of course, as mentioned, we're trying to present to you a truly ecological economy that the Edo period had made possible. And also, again, we are depicting a love story that extends or that crosses over the boundaries of different classes. We aim to make this film about, for example, SDGs, which is a phrase that is very often used in Japan in comparison to other countries, I believe, or so I've been told. But the idea of SDGs, well, one important thing that SDGs aim for is to abolish any kind of poverty in any place or any form. So that is why we are touching upon the ideas of class warfare, gender issues, and equality and equanimity and so forth. And that's why you have this love story of a girl and a boy or a man and a woman who are from different classes.
And also, frankly, most manure men don't look like Kanichiro.
カイチロさんのようなイケメンがああいう職業をされてるっていうのはあんまりないかもしれませんけれども。
Okay, I saw a hand at the left side in the back. Did I not? No. Okay, yes? Okay.
Well,
Yes. Yes.
thank you very much. I very much enjoyed the movie. I've got a very simple question: is why did you choose the time as 1858 to 1860, and what does it represent for you? I mean, you could have done it before, earlier, or yes. So I just want to know that.
質問は時代設定についてですけれども、あえてこの1850年から60年、というこの時代に設定したのはなぜでしょうか。
江戸の幕末という設定で、もうすでに鎖国をしていた日本が開国を迫られ、日本とアメリカが修好条約を結びという頃です。まあ言えば国が混沌としている時代にこういう小さなこう話を逆にやりたかったということですね。庶民はその国がごたごたしているのを小耳には挟んでいるだろうけど、日常的な営みは何も変わらず続いていたというふうに、そういうこう対比をしたかった。
The reason why we set this in the mid 1800s is because I wanted this story to take place in the so-called Bakumatsu era, which was the last days of the shogunate, and Japan had been sealed off from the world for centuries up until then, and we were opening our borders, namely to the United States, and it was a time, an era in which the shogunate or the politics of Japan was in disarray. However, and it was a very chaotic period, but I wanted to tell a tiny little story in such a chaotic period. I wanted to show that the commoner's life or the rhythm of the commoner's everyday life didn't really change no matter what kind of chaos they were, for example, hearing about as to what was happening with the shogunate and so forth.
Okay, and I saw a hand in the back. Yes.
70年前の日本は声だめがあってよく小学生が落っこちました。それと和式のお手洗い、掃除する人が来るんですね。それを私は来ると嬉しくて覗き込んできれいになるのを見てました。それでいやこんなテーマでと思ったんですが、最後に声だめのいい匂いがしてきて、優しい強い心を取り戻すことができました。ありがとうございました。
So this was a comment from about the film, and our lady remarks here that this really brings back memories from my childhood because 70 years ago in Japan, there were such holes like that. For example, sometimes a grade school student would fall into these holes. And also the bathrooms or the toilets in the household used to be that kind of a toilet. And she remembers when she was a child that she would be very ecstatic when the people who would come to clean those toilets out and suck all of the feces out of the toilet. She would be very delighted to see these people coming and then just cleaning out the entire hole in the ground or in the floor. So it brought many childhood memories, nostalgic memories, but it also was startling that a film would actually be made with this kind of theme. But it brought to her a sense of kindness, and it helped her regain a sense of strength within her heart. So thank you very much to the director.
Do either of you remember, do you have childhood memories? Of course not of 70 years ago, but when you were a child, yes.
そういういわゆる汲み取り式のお手洗い、そういったなんかご自身のその幼少期のなんか思い出があるとか、そういうことでありますでしょうか。
汲み取り式である日台風が来て、うんちがこうブワーって溢れて出てきたのだって、もうそれがこう経験として映し出されていると。
So one of the scenes is actually based on an actual experience during my childhood, because we did have toilets like that back in my house. And one day a hurricane came, and the bathroom where the toilet was overflowing. So what you see in the film actually happened.
And Mr. Harada?
そうですね。現地はね、こんなに一生懸命作って、すごい今感謝されたので、頑張ってうんちを作って本当に良かったなと。
I'm just really glad that we all went through so much trouble to make feces.
And we're thankful to you as well. Thank you. Yes, the gentleman right here. And then Jose.
ここのアソシエイトの本間です。今から150年余り前は江戸時代で、当時の江戸は人口が100万で世界一大きい町だったと言われています。それでその中で武家階級が半分、それで江戸時代はゴミの出ない自動的な循環社会を形成していたと聞いています。そういうふうに話を聞いています。でそういう話は何回も聞かされてたんですけども、映像で今日見せていただいて本当に納得しました。それで今日の映像でおば屋さんが紙くず屋さん、武家屋敷、そういうのが出てきて本当に良かったと思います。ありがとうございました。
Another comment from our audience members, but our gentleman here has heard time and again that 150 years ago, during the Edo period of Japan, the city had a population of 1 million, and so it is said to have been the biggest city in the world at that time. And then half of those were samurai warlords. But it was truly a circular bioecology that they realized that they were able to realize then, that did not yield any kind of waste or garbage at all. And I had heard this time and again, but it was really wonderful to see this depicted on screen, and it made so much sense to me. And I loved to see all of the professions in the film, such as not only the manure men, but those who were working to, for example, recycle paper and whatnot, or discarded paper. And it was a wonderful film. Thank you very much.
Tokyo Borderless TV.